Douglas, I don't know about you. I just find them unbelievably irritating, and increasingly so. I think there are a bunch of attention seekers who love just getting in the papers, and that's fine. But why is the state and the police tolerating it in the way that we seem to be?
Well, I'd go slightly further than you, Piers. I mean, they are a sort of end-time apocalyptic cultist movement of a kind that Londoners and others have seen throughout history. People who go gibbering through the streets screaming about the imminence of the apocalypse. And I don't have much time for their views. And I think that their method of protest increasingly, of course, means that more and more members of the public don't have much time for their views. Freedom of speech, of course, everyone defends it. Freedom of protest, everyone defends it. But you do not have a right. I have strong views on a whole range of things. I don't have the right to go and sit in the middle of the M24 and tell everyone else to go, hang whilst I decide to tell them how they should go about their day or ruin their day. I'd be hauled off the motorway in a moment, and quite rightly so. The freedom to protest doesn't extend to disrupting the lives of everyday people trying to go about their business. And I just can't understand why they think that they're advancing their cause. I, at any rate, think that we still haven't had one even reasonable person emerge from the Just Stop Oil and et cetera movement. Every time you get one on, there is a gibbering wreck.
Well, also, they get very abusive very quickly and turn it all very personal, when, in fact, I try and explain, I don't think your methods are working, but I agree with a lot of the message. And so it's a campaign I think would get much more public support if they weren't just being so deliberately irritating to the public and obstructive to the public's ability to go about their day-to-day life. I mean, I think that incident today, where you saw a guy who's in a car with apparently his pregnant partner, and they get, I think, hit by a lorry behind them. So there's a collision, a crash. And she gets out, this pregnant lady, and is remonstrating with the thing. And this guy clearly loses his rag. Now, the violence he then commits is unacceptable, and most people would agree with that. But I can certainly understand why he's reached a point of boiling rage. And you think, well, where are the police here? This protest has been going on for God knows how long that morning. Why have the police not intervened to stop this particular incident then happening?
It's because the guidance that the British police have had in recent years has consistently been to protect the protesters from the general public, rather than protecting the general public from having their lives repeatedly
Do you remember what happened when we had protests around the murder of Sarah Everard? Do you remember the police treatment of those women there?
Yeah,
I remember
absolutely.
it very well. In fact, and this continuously happens quite a lot. We have astonishingly now draconian rules about protest. And it was not that long ago, I remember, where, a lot of the subjects and debates that we would have been having was about, are the left snowflakes? They want to shut everyone down. They want to cancel everyone. We, want to protect free speech. What happened to the free speech defenders? The right to protest is genuinely at risk in this country.
No one is saying they can't protest.
It is at risk in this country.
No one's saying they can't protest.
If I just say,
we are
objecting
objecting to them causing literally, as in today with this incident, a car.
That was a false equivalence right there.
Incredibly small-minded when you say, people are trying to go about their day, and there are people basically literally standing here saying, all I want to do is highlight the fact that there are going to be millions, hundreds of millions of people who will die if we don't change course right now. And you say,
we all have strong views. We all have strong views on a wide range of subjects. As it happens, the policing of the Sarah Everard case was a classic case of the police getting it wrong. Everybody admits that. The commissioner had to step down after it. That was people protesting peacefully, as it happened during a period of lockdown. But the point is with the Just Stop Oil people is they do have a kind of protection, because it seems that the advice that the police have repeatedly given the leaders of the police forces in Britain has been that because climate change has become such an obsession of so many people in Britain, you might lose public sympathy for the police if the police were seen to be cracking down too hard on climate
We've got to move on to the second part of this
segment.
We're going to move on, but all I would say is I think it's time the police got these protesters off busy streets.
Honestly, I think this just speaks to...
Otherwise, what you're going to see, I'm seeing a rising number of incidents of the public taking the law into their own hands, and we're going to end up in a very bad situation, which will be a lot worse than the video we saw today. I can guarantee it. Because if someone is stopping someone getting their wife may be dying and they're racing her to hospital, and they get stopped by Just Stop Oil protests, there's going to be a very unpleasant